A white t-shirt contest for my mods is deeply cursed to me, if only just because, like, I view all of my mods very platonically. Well, maybe not all of them, but, you know, that's beside the point. Nope, one patient was perfectly healthy and admitted for respite and they were killed? Jesus fucking Christ. Maybe they, like... Starkey can we power wash this? Power wash the boar? Probably. Welcome on, Ivan. Good to you, Sweet Bean. Can you shout for Ivan? I hate that emote. I hate that emote. I don't know who added it, but that mod emote is horrible. I'm not a mod, Starkey. Throw a bucket of water over my tits. Evo! Welcome on in, Raiders! Good to have you! For those who don't know, I'm Starkey Lord, Big Chaos Pro Internet, Brave Streamer! What were you up to? Were you working on more of your fursuits? For those who don't know, Evo Yin, absolutely spectacular fursuit maker. Welcome on though. Yo sé que la streama, what's stream in Spanish? yo sé Evo habla más español que inglés. Pero primeramente, eso es un extrema inglesa. God, I need to practice my Spanish more. It's real bad. Welcome on in, though. How are you doing, you sweet beans? What were you working on? Could you wash Evo, please? Listen. I only wash on request, and knowing Evo, having seen some of the art Evo gets, I can't imagine he would be requesting it. Starkey the Borb tastes like cleaning solution, mostly alcohol. Yeah, there's the stinky emote. But yeah, were you working on? Shoot, because I want to say like you've been working on you were working on commission recently, right? Your fursuits are absolutely adorable. We say stream. Okay, fair enough. It's like one of those like loan words that makes sense that it would just be like yes, stream in Espanol. But welcome on and support Bear Badgers at Karkova. Welcome on a Big Crossbear. Welcome on Evine. Please go give Evine a follow. If you're at all interested or want to learn the process of like what goes into making a fursuit, Evo is like a great resource. Also super talented and a fellow Thunderfang member. Aw, thank you, Burl. Hey, it's my pleasure. I'm really grateful that you brought everyone over. I'll be sure to take good care of your community, especially if you gotta do like wrap up or clean up stuff. I know, like, when I raid, I'm like, all right, raid, and I will now proceed to be, you know, unreachable by any means for the next 3 years. I'm just gone. I just cease to be. Also, welcome on and get you. Go ahead, you sweet bean. You wouldn't dare cut a cutie like me. You can't really cut a slime. I know Dragon Quest will be like, oh, you know, because like the slimes are the basic enemies, and you can kill them with whatever. I'm pretty sure you can kill a slime with a frying pan. I've actually never played a Dragon Quest game. I feel like I would, you know, because I'm not necessarily like a super JRPG person. I just like they're just too long for me. Is the big thing. Because I'm like, I look at a game and I'm like, this is like 60 hours. Do I want to play this, or do I want to play like 6 games that are 10 hours? You know, it's basically sort my Steam library by like how long it takes on howlongtobeat.com. But yeah, no, we were talking about like medical stuff. Oh, yeah, oh, that's right. We're talking about the I was about to make a joke about a hospital that apparently you know, there's a hospital that I didn't go to the I have to go to the movies, so I'll be lurking for sure. Thank you for bringing over and over. Hopefully you have fun at the movies. So we were mentioning a hospital that apparently like killed a bunch of people because they were prescribed like lethal amounts of opiates, and I'm just like that. I feel like they got like a memo from like pharmaceutical companies and just completely misunderstood. They didn't understand the assignment. They didn't read it properly. Hope you have a good stream and don't wash any hyenas. Listen, I promise nothing. If a hyena comes in here and asks to be washed, I will wash them. What about l'hospital? What about l'hospital, Starkey? You could tell that I'm a math major because I fucking read that as l'hopital, which is very much very specifically a It's very specifically a calculus name, because in calculus there's this idea of L'Hopital's rule, which is finding things that like finding whether or not like a specific function diverges or not. At least the number of victims is believed to be at least 700, but they were able to definitively prove 456 deaths. That's fucking wild. Also, like how big was the, like, it has to have been like in like a big like a populated city, right? Like this has to have been like in a hospital, like in a city like not quite the size of London, but like at least 1 million people, right? Because otherwise I feel like if 456 people go to the same hospital and all die, like at some point you're gonna start like being like, why the fuck, like why is everyone who goes to that hospital dying? You don't have to watch the whole thing, but I sent you a DM. Oh god almighty. What is this? SCP-049 and 113. The hospital thing is not wild when you get schools that give degrees for C's. Well, okay, that's a difference between the way grading systems work in different countries. Gosport's a smaller town just opposite the waters of Portsmouth. The death did occur over 20 years. Okay, that makes more sense. What is this? Oh my god, is it him reacting to a bunch of SCP-related TikToks? Oh, winter vacation, please, while the heat is here. And while you're at it, toss one of your chalks in the jar so I can keep my feral in place. Yeah, Gadget? But here's the thing, like, I don't necessarily, like, C's get degrees, I think is, like, it's, you know, it's... Yeah, Magic? Is there something you're trying to tell me? Something you want to say by throwing this board at me? It's... But no, because, like, so the idea behind, like, because, you know, I went to a school where, like, they had graded curves, or they had curved grades, and they had, like, flat grades. So the idea was, like, you know, one of them was, like, determined by, like, percentage scores, and the other one was determined by, like, how well you did on just the answers. And I do think that there is value in, like, making tests where you're expecting a C average, because it lets you know what people do and don't understand really well. Like, here's the thing. They graded your curves. Maybe. They definitely didn't find me lacking. I got that degree after all. The worst part is no one was officially prosecuted for the deaths, and the doctor that was at the center of it was allowed to retire with her full pension. I'm washing Starkey's mind from sus thoughts. What is... Okay. I don't mean to fucking put the UK on blast, but between that story and the guy who started the vaccine misinformation, y'all need to fucking chill with your shitty doctors who are killing people. Can you cool it for like 50 seconds? Why is this the UK's biggest export? Is fucking doctors who sell death? Hello? No C degrees in fields that involve people's lives. Don't forget Dr. Harold Shipman. Should we subject Kasai to 1,000 years of mind prison? Why are you voting yes? Here's the thing, though. Medicine is infinitely more complex than... Because you're, like, you know, when you have engineering and something goes wrong, it's really easy to pinpoint a cause. When you have medicine and something goes wrong, it's not as easy. It's like, it's significantly harder because you don't know, like, what the comorbidities could be. So with engineering classes, we have what's called Occam's razor, which is the idea that when you can't prove something, the idea where you're assuming the least is more likely to be true. So it's like, you know, the classic example is solipsism, which is the idea that everything as we know it was brought into existence last Thursday. Every single memory you have is a fabrication of just like it was just brought into existence spontaneously to make you believe that history existed before last Thursday, but it really didn't. Occam's razor looks at that and says, what's more likely? That like your memories are all like valid, and that, you know, that there's like a substantial length of the universe that existed before you, or that the universe spontaneously created with all of your memories as they are specifically to allow it, like, you know, to allow our current understanding. That's the idea behind Occam's razor, is that, like, you know, you're making less assumptions by believing that the universe existed before last Thursday. Medicine doesn't fucking have that. There's a corollary to Occam's razor that I can't remember. That is the idea that a person can have as many illnesses as they damn well please. It's like, okay, cool, they've got a cough. Which of these 10,000 diseases do they have, and is it just 1 or 60 of them? Before I got sent to the mind prison, I sent a video because you mentioned kink talk. When I came out the other side, I was no longer resemble humans. Obviously, the universe appeared last Thursday. But no, like, that's the idea behind Occam's razor and why, like, medicine is, like, significantly harder to approach. Okay, this is... I got sent this by Kasai, so this is the sin for which Kasai is going into the mind prison 10,000 years. Goddamn. Goddamn. The big issue with the British I'm assuming that that's the major reason Kasai wanted me to see this. But yeah, no, I figured, like, honestly, just the one is probably not us. That's why. Yeah. But the thing is, we were talking about kink talk. I guess to be fair, like, is TF intrinsically a kink? Because, like, we did get rated in by Evo Yin, who is also he also is a TF enjoyer. Is TF intrinsically a kink? God damn it, they gave the Plague Doctor the gender-bending goo again. TF is a kink IMO. The big issue with British doctors is they're all members of the General Medical Council, which normally closes rank whenever there is an investigation to its members. They allowed Dr. Shipman to kill 250 patients before the GMC started to look into him. Hey, UK, can you stop fucking exporting people like that? Seriously, just kill them. In Minecraft. That But no, like, seriously, hold them accountable, hold them liable, throw them in fucking prison. TF is a kink, IMO definitely is. Welcome on in, Bosk. But I guess we can shout for Bosk. Send you another cute cat. Every time it's a fucking coin flip. Every time. Okay, that is a cute cat, actually. Look at this little creature. Also, I'm so sorry for the Raiders, but we do get a lot of cupcake remixes, so get ready for that. Hi, Strike, welcome on in. Oh, that's right. If you are a streamer yourself, be sure to check out Microstream RPG. I need to grab a copy of it myself. Hold up, fine. How dare you?
Take a closer look at that snout.
The cat was not ready for the snout. Seriously, just kill them. What a light. No, that's not fair, because, like, you know, it's one of those things where it's corporal punishment is not a meaningful way to contribute to society. Just like grab people like that and throw them in prison and don't let them out. Don't let them fucking escape the country at the very least. Shit, man, it's the year 2025. We still have to deal with the UK's bullshit. Starkey, you're washing a hole through that metal by idling. Listen, sometimes you just gotta wash a hole. I hate that cat photo. The spaghetti was not snapped to and cooked in the microwave. Was not snapped in two. Oh. Listen. I am very specific about the way I cook my spaghetti. I do it la classic Italiana method, which is you know, Starkey phrasing. No, I'm leaning into it. I'm cleaning the hole. Italia. I still love it that, like, I talked to my friend who's in who was someone who was into Homestuck when it was big, and I talked about it. I was like, yeah, no, the only thing, the cursed internet thing I knew about was Hetalia, and she was like, yeah, you had it worse. You had it worse. You having to deal with Hetalia is worse than me having to deal with I wasn't into Hetalia, mind you. It's just that the girls at the anime club that I went to in high school fucking loved it, and I could not tell you why. I gave my Sona shape-shifting powers so I can use the same Sona for any species of Fickle. I'm fickle, is that a kink? I mean, that's the same reason I made Starkey into Goo. I don't necessarily, like, because at the very least, like, TF as a kink isn't maybe, you know, I guess it's like, it's the difference between, like, a kink versus something that's sexual. Because there definitely are just people who are like, yes, I like the idea of turning into a werewolf, but it's not a sex thing. Like, that in my mind is, like, one of those, you know, there's, like, certain things I look at and I'm like, there's no way, this can't not be a kink thing. You know? There's some stuff like that where I look at that and I'm like, okay, there's no option other than this is a sex thing. But like I feel like with TF, it's intrinsically a kink, but maybe not intrinsically a sex thing. Is Borb a kink? Yes, inflation. Listen, if you're becoming Orb, you're I would argue that, you know, oh gosh, there we go. There's the Yoshi emote. Borb will TF us into drone. Is that TF? No, I don't buy it. No one's TF without thinking about it in a sex way. It's against the human programming. Is Darky's obsession with feet a kink? It's... I swear to God. Macro wolves. That's a good, like, because I definitely know, because I know for some people, like, I would consider macro a kink, but not intrinsically sexual. Some people just, like, view it as, like, a very, like, wholesome, you know, gentle giant situation. So I think it's like in the same, like, TF is in the same category as that, where it's like a deep fascination, which is what a kink really is. It's like a deep fascination with an idea or concept. Like, that's what a kink is, ultimately. And then, like, the sexual aspect is kind of secondary. Although, you know, it can be deeply involved. Is graduating from college a kink? If there's one thing I've learned from the internet, is that graduating from college makes you a liberal, and all liberals are kinksters. I'm so sorry, I can't fucking finish it with a straight face. Oh, God damn it. Is stream breaking up for anyone else? I'm not dropping any frames. Well, what? Listen. Okay, so by that definition, do I have a mayo kink? Yes. Yes, Kasa, you have a mayo kink. That was never in question. Getting a degree is a kink. It's reverse bimbofication. I mean, yeah. Intelligence loss is definitely a kink. Like, 100%. Himbofication, bimbofication, that's definitely a kink. So the reverse would also reasonably be a kink. You know, some people read Flowers for Algernon and it's like, oh, God damn, I wish that was me. But imagine being into both, like, himbofication and reverse himbofication, and then reading Flowers for Algernon and getting just so deeply confused. Do you want to be turned into a drone? That's 2 no votes, which makes sense. Important poll. I can't imagine this gets more than 50%. Not that there's anything wrong with being into a kink like that. As long as it's, you know, my rule is as long as everyone involved is consenting, and they aren't getting hurt or killed. Or I guess to be fair, like, hurt is the basis of BDSM. As long as they aren't getting permanently wounded or, you know, in some way disabled, go for it. I don't want to be one, but I won't decline having one. That's fair. I mean, listen, it's like the harem situation, you know? It's just like, you know, himbo harem. Life's greatest joys. Sometimes you just gotta make it yourself. That is a joke, of course. Gosh, being turned into a drone for a panopticon of government surveillance networks. I feel like Patrick is Mayo a kink? Yes. Mayo is a kink and you have it, Kasai. We're talking R2-D2 drone, right? Like an automaton? Yes. This is a robosexual space. If you don't want to fuck Ultron, I fucking saw. Hold up a moment, because I need to talk about this thing I saw on Blue Sky today, where they're like, it was like a post like on like I think 4chan or whatever, complaining about how Emma Frost released to like so much fanfare and so much porn, and then Ultron released to nothing. And one of the responses to that was like, OP, what do you want them to do? Make porn with a robot? Yes! Yes, I do! I want them to make porn with a robot! That robot fucks! Literally. Make the robot horny. I should not be committing to these bits, but goddamn it if it isn't fun. Mr. Electric, make that robot horny. Robot porn is real, they just don't know where to look. Exactly. It's like, I love the, like, because there's a meme about, like, the Marvel rival devs trying to decide, like, whether they should just, like, give people access to the models. And one of the devs is like, do it. It will ensure the success of our game. Do it. Port it directly to source filmmaker. If kinks can be entirely devoid of sexual feelings, oh boy, oh no. I'm sorry, have I awoken something deep within you, Kasai? People know it was good in the 80s, all those chromed skinned fembots. As much as I joke, I'm not necessarily super robot fuckery. I definitely, I prefer a more organic look. That having been said, would I fuck the T-1000? Yeah. More likely I would let him kill me. Finally, sweet release. But no, that... It's one of the, you know... I'm surprised that, like, you know... Oh, that's... Wait, no, I was just reminded... Apparently they might be banning anime in Texas. That was fucking wild to learn about. Would you do it with HAL 9000? I don't want to hate fuck, no. I do not, HAL 9000, oh wait, no, HAL 9, never mind, I was thinking of Am from, I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. HAL 9000, no, I don't think so. He's just kind of a brick. Like, my man is just an obelisk. How would they enforce that? So the idea, because it passed in like a bill that was something to the effect of like, it was one of those like keep the kids safe, like, you know, there's you know, naughty images of children in an anime. Presumably the idea is that like they're gonna like, you know, force fucking like Crunchyroll or whatever to like, you know, cleanse its catalog when they're streaming to people in Texas. Welcome to Chaos, but have you, Sweet Bean?
You have no idea what it...
Do you think C-3PO enjoys getting pegged? I'm sorry, I got as stun-locked as that shark. What the I mean, yes. 100%. There is no way C-3PO is doing any amount of dicking. He is absolutely the receiver at all times. I can imagine Texas Rangers kicking out people's doors looking for copies of Cowboy Bebop. And very question, who will enforce that? You have to remember, it's Texas. Like, you know, Texas is a nightmare. Look, depending on what the line between kink and hobby is specifically, I either have no kinks or past a certain point I have a lot of recategorizing to do. I think it's, I think that there's, like, I don't know what is the differentiation point between a kink and a hobby? That's a good question. It kind of sucks here in Texas. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm waiting for, like, every system to just burn to the ground. I don't want to have to be one of the group of people that fucking puts together the ashes of I Love Texas. What, for the Texas emotes? You can come here, it's sand. Hot. Misery. Can we make a border to make Texas its own nation in Minecraft? Here's the thing, though, like, Texas talks a big game of, like, seceding or whatever. Texas wouldn't be allowed to secede. Because before they would be allowed to do that, the federal government would need to move its nukes out of Texas. And B, if Texas seceded, a substantial portion of its income comes as a result of federal contracts. So Texas would immediately fucking fold like the economic dish towel that it is. The difference between a kink and a hobby is social perception. Both can make you cum. I suppose that's fair. It's because like there are certain things that like blur the lines between. Because bondage is definitely a kink. Shibari is also a kink, but it's also kind of a hobby. Because people get really into making like aesthetically pleasing rope like outfits with shibari. A lot of military infrastructure is here. I don't know what would happen. If they tried to secede, realistically, they would be, invaded. Drawing corn is both a hobby and a kink. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird trying to figure out the taxonomy of certain terms that like are very loose. God, I'm taking forever to finish this fucking ship. There was a great panel in the 2000 AD comics where in Judge Dredd the judges raid the wrong house and one of the judges orders the rest to quickly find them guilty of something. It sounds like Texas forgot it was satire, not an instruction manual. Remember, kids, if you ever have to interact with a cop, the less you speak to them, the better. There's a couple of lawyers who like do like a yearly run up to be like, shut your fucking mouth, shut the fuck up. You watch those jet intakes, makes me shine. I've seen definitions where kink means it requires sexual and somewhere it doesn't. Because I think there is some tying to it. Like I said, I in general I think of kink as being like an extreme hyperfixation. It's like a hyperfixation that like, it's almost unavoidable, where like it is omnipresent in your like day-to-day thinking. That's kind of where I would categorize kink. But I think also if Texas secedes, they would probably lose a lot of its population to migration. Yeah. Wait, you said hyper? Welcome on in Cetrac. Glad to have you, Sweet Bean. Hyper is definitely a kink. If we're talking kinks. Because, like, kink also is, like, it describes both activities and attributes. Like, hyper is actually a good example. Because, like, hyper is an attribute of a piece. It is a character being drawn to the logical extremes of what would be possible for a body to reach. And sometimes like well beyond that. The furries out there with bulges the size of literal galaxies. So what's a fetish then? I think the difference between kink and fetish is like requirement, I believe. Like a fetish is something you need to get off, whereas a kink is just something that like is like it's a heightener, experience heightener. Yeah, that both kink and hobby trigger the same happy chemicals in the brain. So kink I would almost describe as being like an attribute of like a pattern of thoughts, whereas like a hobby is a thing you do that you find value in, that like, it's in that same category of like, so fetish is a requirement, kink's a preference. I think so. Again, I'm not fucking like, I'm not a sex psychologist by no means. To some degree, I'm still deeply repressed from growing up being gay in Indiana. I laughed so fucking hard when one of my friends introduced me to the musical Prom, which the first song in Prom is, the first line of the first song in Prom is, here's a tip, don't be gay in Indiana. And the first time I heard that, I fucking died laughing, because it's so goddamn relatable. I compulsively punctuate my thoughts with Yu-Gi-Oh! Actions. I would argue that that's probably more OCD than kink. Look at my resume. I go to have you, Sweet Bean, because it's not like like you said, it's compulsive. It's not something you're actively do because you enjoy. It's just a thing your brain does to like end a thought. I can imagine someone having a kink, shaming kink. Oh, 100%. I would argue a kink shame kink is the basis of humiliation kinks. Like, humiliation is the kink of being kink shamed. I'm here if only for a short bit before work. Thank you for stopping by, Razzie, you sweet bean. Why be gay in Indiana when you can be gay in Alaska? Here's the thing. We've been listening to this for like a minute, and I just realized there might be something fucked up with this song. We love a good kink shame. Listen, I only kink shame on request. You think? Like, humiliation is definitely the example of a kink whose basis is kink shaming. You would not believe your eyes. Hey, Chad, I don't think I would believe my eyes. Do you think you would believe your eyes? Because I don't think I would believe my eyes. Masochist is an umbrella term for someone who likes self-humiliation and punishment. Yeah, here's the thing. Like, masochist as a term is actually like a lot more broad than specifically pain. Masochist is like masochist and like BDSM as a concept are based out of, I believe, you know. Oh, welcome on to Xerox Crisis. Good to have you, sweet bean. Can you shout out for Xerox? So BDSM actually is an acronym, and only the last two words have to do with pain, specifically sadism and masochism. The first two are what is it? The second one's definitely discipline. Is the first one behavior? Behavioral discipline, sadism and masochism. I can't remember what BDSM stands for. I'm a fake gay. Bondage. It's bondage. That's right. It's bondage. I'm a fake homosexual. Bondage and discipline. Can we also like talk about like the sheer like you know, I've mentioned before the concept of the 13 Reasons Why effect, where like teenagers were like after watching 13 Reasons Why saw it as an aspirational thing, which is fucked up. Because of the shitty way they wrote it. But like, I think I would argue that 50 Shades of Grey did the exact same thing. Why? I don't know what BDSM actually stands for. I thought it was biodegradable submaster relation. Yes, yes, but if I buy this submaster relationship, will I be able to throw it away, or do I need to recycle it? What's up, Chris?
You know what? I love BDSM Starkey. Buying gun ships for myself.
You know what? That is. Sometimes you deserve a little treat. Sometimes you gotta get yourself a little treat. Welcome on in, Sid. Go ahead, sweet. You shout for Yin, Sid. But no, so you know, BDSM is like bondage and discipline as like primary cores, and then sadism and masochism are kind of a result of that. If my Dommy Mommy ain't biodegradable, I don't want none. I would be more horrified by the prospect of a Dommy Mommy being non-biodegradable, I'm gonna be honest. What the fuck, Starkey? What? You've been here before. You've heard the shit I talk about. What's up, Chris?
I've committed to the Mayo bit so hard that I have lost myself to respond to Mayo with excitement and enthusiasm whenever I see it written down.
Yeah, Kasai, that's 100% a kink. 100%. You've induced in yourself a kink about mayonnaise. Do with that information as you will. Non-biodegradable dragon. I mean, I guess there are certain people who want to be non-biodegradable, because you know, if we're mentioning kinks, there are the people who you know, are really into like rubber, latex, and pool toys. Am I a kink, Starkey? I mean, you make me happy to be around, but also, you are a person in your own right, but not a pattern of thoughts. I'm just really full of microplastics. You know what? Fucking maybe the pool toy furs are onto something. Maybe they're just speed running the process. They're trying to transcend their humanity, like Dio Joestar. They're forfeiting their humanity to fully embrace macroplastics. I'm here, you know. Pool toys. This is a call out post to multiple people in this chat. I'm used to having non-sexual kinks checks out, not gonna lie. Ace people absolutely have the most kinks. 100%. There are no kinkier people than asexuals. Which is like the it's just like it's why I fucking love you know, the ace people being like, actually Cersei and the sirens wouldn't affect me because I'm asexual. No, they would just fucking offer you garlic bread and the ability to turn into your persona, and you'd be like, all right, cool, fucking hit me up. And if your persona's a pig, hey, actually, congratulations, you won the fucking lottery. Ace people kink is getting an A on an exam. Bread. Oh no, I said the asexual people's activation phrase, garlic bread. I hesitate to ask my Arrow Ace writer friend if she has any kinks. The answer, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let me give you a little spoiler here. The answer is yes. The answer is yes.